everyone. Welcome to the House Calls. I'm Dr. Quack, and tonight we're doing things a little bit differently here. Normally I have some professional wrestling or promo artists, but I actually have someone that I am very excited to interview here. Ladies and gentlemen, let me bring on Anthony Caimano and Mandee Cantone.
Hey, how's it going?
How you doing?
Good. Thanks for having us on.
Yeah, thank you for coming on. Yes, for you guys at home, this is the director and the screenwriter of Friday the 13th Blood Loss, a brand new film coming out.
Yes, co-writer and co-directors. Mandee also does the makeup and casting, and we're a smaller, tighter crew, so we wear a lot of different hats.
Definitely.
I'm the real killer.
I got a question though. First off, how did you two meet?
She interviewed me, so we were doing this, and she was a co-host on a different show, and she was interviewing me about a different movie that I was making at the time, and that's it. That's how we met.
And you guys just hit it off. That's really awesome. How long have you known each other?
How long have we known each other?
That was January of 2022. It's not that long.
No, it wasn't. January 2022.
Yeah.
No. 20, yes. Probably 21.
No, it was 22.
She says 22. I think she's lying.
But you guys have known each other a while. That's pretty awesome. Definitely. I mean, it's great when you can find somebody in the same field and be able to do things. So, here, let me ask, how did you get started in the film industry?
Well, I started a long time ago. I reached out when Craigslist was still kind of popular. Somebody put out a casting call on Craigslist. He needed actors, so I reached out. I ended up going down and filming some test scenes for him, and that was it. And then I just kind of dipped out for a while. And then during the pandemic, I make music too, so I actually put out an EP during the I think 2019, and then somebody reached out to me during the pandemic, asked if they could use a couple of the songs in a film that person's making, and so that kind of like started dragging me back into it, and things just kind of took off from there. I picked up some producer credits on other films, did some music for a few films, and then just decided to kind of make my own movie.
Yeah, it's like after you learn how to do the process, definitely. Mandee, how did you get into this?
How did you get into it?
Into filming?
Yeah, into making movies.
I started off in like the entertainment industry, like when I was little and everything. My parents paid for like acting, dancing, voice lessons. My background's primarily in theater, and I took a few years off from everything. But back in 2020, I was contacted by Dqhc to be one of the cast members on the show and everything. And I filmed everything during the pandemic. I filmed everything from my home in Florida, and I would send all the footage out to California where they would edit everything. So then after that, that's kind of when I started being contacted by more and more people with everything.
Definitely. So, I mean, you could have made fantasy movies, kid movies. What made you get into horror movies?
We could have made any genre of movie. What made us want to make horror movies?
Yeah, out of all movies.
For me, it was always a given. It's something that I just grew up around. Both my parents were big in horror films, and especially like with sci-fi and everything. My father was really big with horror hosts, so that's like where my love for that comes from as well. But that's just something that's been instilled in me. So it's like a little scary baby, I guess. What made you want to?
Well, I grew up watching slasher films. I was a big Nightmare on Elm Street fan, and Halloween, and Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and Friday the 13th. And I actually, when I started,
it's all comedies.
So I actually started producing. I was in pre-production on a Batman fan film. So that was the first film I was going to make, and we ended up putting that off for a while. And horror, it just happens that horror is pretty popular genre among the independent film community. I don't know if it's because, I don't know, it's just the kind of people that it attracts, I guess. I'm not sure, but so it's just something that I kind of fell into. So like, that guy that reached out to me about using my songs in his movies, he's making a vampire movie and another movie, and it was all horror based. And so I thought, I would just give the slasher genre a chance. I thought maybe I could do something with it, and here we are making Blood Lost now. So
that is really awesome, man. I mean, it's so many different ways how it turns. Eventually you end up where you're at, and it's really awesome to see. So what role do you like doing best? Do you like acting? Do you like directing?
I call it producing, because then I'm able to kind of do whatever I have to do to get the job done. So if I have to do a background character or something like that, I could just pretend to be a victim in the movie or whatever it is. Or if I have to step in and direct, then I can do that. If I have to operate the camera, because I'm not acting in Blood Lost, but I'm doing a lot lighting and cinematography and directing in Blood Lost, and co-writing. And then there are moments where she might kind of have better ideas for a scene, so maybe she steps in and kind of directs a scene. Or there's a guy that works with us, Mark Francis, who was on set for a while. He might step in and do a lot of this stuff, lights or whatever, block a shot or whatever the case. So we all kind of work as a team to get it done. But I just refer to it as, for the most part, I always call myself a producer, because I just, I'm ready to do whatever I have to do to get the movie made.
Definitely. Here you go. So during the film, and this is still in post-production, I believe.
Yeah, I guess it's technically still in production, because we have to finish filming some scenes in May. And then after that, it'll be out. We're going to do an early screening during the summer. And then the release date is set for September 13th.
Nice. Is that a Friday?
Yeah.
All right. See, that fits perfect. Look at that. All matches together. I love it. That is great. Did you go to school for this, or did you learn this on your own, like how to do things, or did people teach you? How did that work for you?
I took a video production class in high school, and I took a photography class in college, but I didn't go to school to become like a filmmaker. I didn't go to film school. I taught myself how to produce. I took music lessons and things over the years, but I taught myself how to produce music, record, sequence instruments, mix and master things. And I kind of tried my best to just do that with movies as well. So I taught myself how to, what kind of camera to use, and what is a codec, and what are LUTs, and then what is Dqhc, and then how do you use Dqhc. And at one point I was using Premiere with After Effects, and doing little videos where I would take action figures and I would put lightsabers in their hands, and then I would try to make the lightsaber look as realistic or as cool as it does in like the official Star Wars films. So I would do little things like that to just try to figure out little tricks over the years, and that's kind of like led me to where I am now. And there's always something more to learn. I'm trying to get better with lighting. That's one thing that I'm still trying to figure out. There's other stuff, but yeah, I'm just self-taught. What about you? Did you go to school for this?
Go for acting.
She went to school for acting.
And during acting, they teach you everything. With photography and everything, I just worked for independent studios and everything that trained me to be a studio photographer and stuff like that. But with the schooling and everything, like when you go to acting school, they make you take the classes for directing and everything like that. You have to write your plays and like do the screenplays and everything like that. So that's where I got my training.
Like, if you have somebody, like you're doing a scene and you have an actor or an actress that's having a real tough time, being able to do it, how do you talk to them to be able to, make them do what you're trying to do?
Well, they're all different. They all have different personalities and different tips and tricks that'll work. One guy was having a hard time because there was a girl that was kind of talking over him as he was going over his lines. So maybe kind of getting them in different areas, letting one person go over his stuff, and the other person could go over her stuff in the next room. Or another guy, we have the scene where he kicks the door open, and he was afraid that he was going to break the door. And I shouldn't say this because the people that own the place might see it. They're going to watch it and they're going to know. But
they're going to be like, oh, well, that's what happened.
Yeah, but I was like, dude, just break the door, kick it open, break it. So, just to get them to do it, to make it look as realistic as we could get it. So, just to get them to do it to make it look as realistic as we could get it. So, There were some scenes where the actor playing Jason in one of the scenes was a few times actually was afraid to kill the people on screen. He was being very like delicate with them. And I stood in front of him and I had him hit me. I'm like, hit me as hard as you can with whatever weapon he had at the time. So he was hitting the crap out. I'm like, dude, it doesn't hurt. You're good.
I didn't know that was a perk of being Jason.
So yeah, just different ways of dealing with the actors. The question was, if someone's having a tough time on set, how do you handle it, or what do you do to get them to get the scene right?
You beat some sense into them.
Does that work?
Yeah, we covered it really good. So
no, it's just they're all different. It's always different personalities and different reasons for why they're kind of doing things the way that they're doing things, or
like if someone has stage fright, like if they're like all of a sudden they get that stage fright into them, how do you handle that?
Most of these people that we work with don't. A lot of them are actually theater actors, so they're used to the thing with those people is that they're used to going out. They only have one shot to get it right. So there's no retakes, there's no reshoots, there's no cover-ups. It's just they learn the lines, they memorize it, they go out and do it in front of a live audience, and then that's it. With us, I have no problem giving them 10 takes if they want it or whatever the case. It's just that for whatever reason on this movie, most of them weren't really camera shy. I think, naturally a lot of these people do want they enjoy being in front of the camera, so a lot of them are comfortable. Some of them are, obviously some people are more experienced than other people. So the people that were maybe less experienced that kind of had some goof ups were like, dude, it's okay to mess up. You can mess up as much as you want. Just don't stop acting. Don't go, oh man, I messed up. Just keep going through it. Pretend like you didn't mess up. We'll get it done, and then we'll reshoot it and we'll do it again. And then we have a couple different takes. Then maybe we could piece those together, whatever makes sense in the for that shot. But yeah, I mean, we didn't have the people that we had on this one weren't too shy.
No, nobody was.
Yeah.
That's really good. I mean, you definitely want people that can do it in one take. I mean, that's very similar to what I was doing with professional wrestling. You only get one shot. You got to go out there and do it right. But so you have like two really famous people in this movie, in my opinion. Beatrice Boppoli, and it's wild with her. How did you make this connection? I'm curious because she's now playing Jason's mother, and she was playing Freddy's mother.
Yeah, so we actually had a different actress that was in that role to be Pamela, and things kind of fell apart with her. And at the time, we already had Ari attached to the film, and so I sent Beatrice. I just sent her a message, and I'm like, hey, we're making this fan film, and I actually had a different character for her to play, and I asked her if she'd be interested in being a part of it. You're famous for Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. You want to be a part of this Friday the 13th fan film, and she was pretty happy to do it, I think. And when things fell apart with the other actress, and we had that opening for Pamela, she expressed interest in playing the role, and she was really excited to do it, and came and had a good time, and was a lot of fun to work with. So things just kind of fell into place, and sometimes it happens that way, and sometimes it goes the other way. Sometimes you really want to make a connection with somebody and you can't, or you can and they want to make the connection with you, but for some reason things just don't work out, scheduling conflicts or just whatever it is. But with Beatrice, it just fell into place. We got lucky, so.
Yeah, I mean, and then you had Ari Lehman over there, the original Jason Voorhees.
Yeah, and Ari was great too. The thing with Ari is that he's so busy because he's not just doing conventions for the Friday the 13th stuff. He's in a band, and they tour like every day of the week. He's constantly playing shows or doing signings, and he's always busy. So, and Beatrice is busy now too because she was doing conventions before. Now she's doing all these different projects. But yeah, we got lucky with both of them, I think. And Ari, I think we had to plan. We had to work around schedules a little bit, but everything worked out well. And
I'm sure that it was on the 30th.
yeah, we just had to. we just had to play around with scheduling and make sure that it made sense for everybody.
How long have you been trying to make this film? When was the start date?
Oh, it's only been like 7 months since we launched the original campaign.
The first one?
Yeah.
Yeah, we launched it in January.
January. So just under a year.
Just under a year, yeah. I mean, and you'll be having it out later this year potentially. I mean, that's really awesome. A 2-year span. It takes a lot of work to be able to do that, doesn't it?
Yeah, for us, the majority of it is just raising funds to be able to make the thing. And then filming might be a few weeks or a month or whatever it is total. You know, we did a couple weeks in October, and then we're going to do some extra dates in May, and then that's it. But yeah, most of it has been trying to raise money to actually make the thing, because we have to pay for locations, pay for insurance, pay for the equipment that we need, pay for, you know, actors, some of them, or pay for food to feed the cast while they're on set, or all these different expenses come up, props and, you know, costumes and makeup. It's just that, you know, every time, and whenever you think you have everything or you have enough or you have extra, there's always something missing. We need another pack of batteries. We need more AA batteries. We need more camera batteries.
Can't forget catering.
Yeah, it just keeps going and going and going.
It's a nonstop process. Here, I want to switch gears a little bit. Let me ask you, what's your favorite Friday the 13th movie?
My favorite's the original. I always liked the original because it had something about the kind of like fun aspect to it. It's you know, it's like the whodunit movie, and all the other ones. I mean, you pretty much know that it's Jason in the other films. In the original film, you don't know who's killing people, and you find out it's Pamela, who, you know, now we think of her as like Jason's mother, but at the time she was just, you know, the lady cook at the campground or whatever. Yeah, so if you just look at that movie for what it is, that was my favorite movie. What's your favorite one?
Part 2.
Part 2? She likes Part 2.
Jason.
The actual Jason, Hillbilly Jim Jason.
But I like it.
Yeah, she likes. You know, I know that's her favorite one, but yeah, she's a big Friday the 13th Part 2 fan. She likes Sackhead Jason. Yeah.
There's not much more to go with that.
No.
It's more fun, I think. That's when Jason gets introduced as the killer and everything. So
yeah.
In the suburbs.
Yeah.
In the beginning.
Yeah.
He takes that needle into the girl's head over there.
Says he puts the needle in the girl's head
at the beginning.
Ice pick.
Yeah.
Ice pick. Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah.
In the kitchen.
I was thinking Mike.
None of it makes any sense. It was kind of like following like the suit of Halloween, the type of feel at the beginning.
Well, I was going to say Halloween 2 has the needle in the girl's head.
Yeah, it kind of had like that whole feel to it. And, like they were trying to like mark it off of it, I think, a little bit, and then it turned into the Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
Definitely. Let me ask a couple more questions here, because we'll wrap this up here in probably about a few minutes. If you got any questions out there, by all means, ask. Your favorite moment that you've had on set filming?
Favorite moment on set filming? Seeing Beatrice as Pamela was pretty fun. What else?
Favorite moment? I have moments because I've really enjoyed working with everyone. It was really, really great to get to sit and work with Beatrice. I felt really bad because once she got there, because we had rented a camper for the week, so that way we could do makeup and everything in it. And she gets there, and all of a sudden, all the electricity goes out because somebody plugs in a coffee pot outside, and all the electric went out. I'm like, it's 4:00 in the morning, and I'm having to do her makeup. And Clifton, one of the actors and everything, he runs around grabbing like all kinds of little lantern lights and everything like that, and he's like holding them up as I'm trying to do her makeup and everything to make sure she's ready for everything. But it was probably kind of like a crazy situation, but it turned out to be pretty fun the way that it happened and everything. Just little moments like that.
She calls it the Kruger curse, because when she showed up, that happened, all the power went out, so we had to deal with that. Then we got on set, and we have these lights that are they're pretty safe to use. Like the old school lights used to blow up, bulbs would blow up, or if you touched it without a glove, it would burn you, or whatever the case. But these lights that we have are safe. You can touch them, whatever. If they fall, they're not going to explode. But a couple of them fell over, And, I don't think, she just kind of startled her or whatever. And then we had this campfire, and she had her feet up on the what do you call that? She just had her feet up on the fire pit, and it ended up melting her shoes. Like the bottom of her shoes were all melted. And she calls it the Kruger curse.
The little things just kept going.
She says,
wrong as she got there.
Freddie didn't want her to be there.
He was protecting.
Freddie's not Jason's.
Yeah, Freddie. Yeah, she was saying Freddie doesn't want her to be there. It's his mom, not Jason's mom. But yeah, just filming with her was fun. Filming scenes with just Jason in some of the scenes was cool to film them.
Jason in your film.
I was having a lot of fun doing all the effects, makeup. Like whenever somebody was coming to me, and I had to make them look dead. That was pretty cool.
We had a couple different people playing Jason in the movie. We had AJ Stone for a lot of scenes. And then we had Josh Racine. He was in some of the scenes, and we just kind of blended it together and made it look like one Jason. So if anyone asks, just tell them it's all one person. It's our secret.
Jason.
Yeah,
it works for me. Did anybody pull any ribs? Like any kind of jokes, practical jokes on people?
I don't think so. We were trying to find. Well, did anyone pull any jokes on anybody? Not really.
I made jokes a lot, but nobody pulled it.
Yeah, we might have made jokes or something, but we really had a lot of work to get done. And I mean, there were days where I didn't sleep. We literally filmed all night, so it was 24 hours we were filming.
We had lost a day of filming due to some unfortunate circumstances and everything. So we had to try to cram everything into those remaining days, and it was a little hectic. So it's like we all try to have fun and do have the best time as possible, but I don't think anybody really thought about jokes, playing pranks and stuff.
Yeah, no, there were. I mean, I only slept for half the days that we were there. I mean, I only got sleep on half the days. I mean, I was up with the cast and crew 4 a.m., 5 a.m., 6 a.m., 7. I mean, we just went all night and continued through the day. I would be covered in blood all day because I was doing it, FX too. Yeah, we didn't have a lot of time to joke around. We had a lot to get done in a short amount of time. And, that was something that I actually mentioned too, is, some of the actors, they want to come and take selfies and, find the clapperboard and post social media stuff. And it's like, for me, it was like, this is the time that we have to make this as good as it can be so that we can have some kind of premiere together and then get to that premiere, take selfies and post all the social media stuff and have fun on that day. Like, let's work now. Let's work now and then have fun later. That was kind of the...
Tim Jones here says you did a great job, bro. It's a huge thing to make any film. Glad to help you.
Tim Jones is he's a mask maker. He's from Top Notch Hawks. He made the blank masks that we use in the film. So he goes to all the conventions and he sets up and he has all these different masks that you can get and stuff. He's been super supportive, but that's the person that we get our masks from, and then we get them here, and I go through and I weather the mask and paint it and all that stuff for the film. Definitely.
What was the scariest moment on filming? Was there any kind of close calls?
We had to deal with a lot of people. We're checking out the comments too. We don't want to ignore anybody. So this is Christian's an actor in the film. Henry's the character in the film. And so he's in character saying, F the other.
Oh my God, fuck Henry, that's funny.
Christian's getting me in trouble. Close calls, not really. We had a lot of stuff where, a lot of people joined the film through the Indiegogo campaign. So we wrote custom parts for them, and then they changed their mind at the last second or no-showed or whatever the case. So we had to rewrite a lot of the parts of the story to make it make sense. So we had to sit there and all right, now how do we make sense of this and make sure that it doesn't suck, So there's a lot of that stuff going on where, we would just sit there for 10 minutes. It's all right, let's do that. All right. And then if we film this pickup shot and then, okay, now it makes sense, if this guy's talking to this guy or whatever the case. So, but that's it. Nothing too crazy. Nobody got hurt or came close to getting hurt. Everybody I think had a good time from the 16th on. So the 15th was the first day. That was a pretty crazy day. But everyone from the 16th on, I think, had fun. So
Definitely. I kind of want to switch gears a little bit. I want to talk.
yeah.
Did you watch pro wrestling? Do you watch it now or?
Oh, that's right. So I was going to tell you before, but I wanted to save it. So I actually trained for a short time.
Really?
So yeah. So here in Rochester, we have Upstate Pro Wrestling. It was called NWA back. They just called it NWA Upstate back in the day. But that's where Brody Lee comes from, Luke Harper.
Yep.
So he trained there with Rick Matrix. God, I don't know why the other guy's name's Colin Delaney. Colin Delaney is the trainer there and stuff. So actually, I went there for a short time, just learned basic stuff, how to lock up, how to take bumps, back bumps, handstand bumps, flip bumps, how to get in the ring and out of the ring, how to run the ropes, just basic stuff. And then I bowed out. But Clifton Taylor, who is one of the actors in the film, he's a pro wrestler and he's done great for himself. He's called Apex. So if he's watching Apex, good job, man. You're our champion.
That's awesome. I mean, it helps with acting, being able to take falls and things like that, be able to sell it.
Yeah. So I mean, I didn't have to take any bumps in this one, but I'm sure it would probably help those guys if they wanted to do that stuff. Yeah, if they can land flat, and we're out in the woods, so there's sticks and things. But we actually did have mats for some of the shots, so we went out and bought a big gym mat, and we brought that out with us. No, they didn't use it.
I don't think anybody used it.
Yeah, we did use it.
Did?
Yeah, we did use it.
Okay.
Not for all the shots, but actually the shots that are in the movie, nobody used the mat. But the deleted scenes, they used the mat.
That is awesome. Wow. You got to be able to do it, be able to take falls out there in risky situations. Who was your favorite wrestler growing up? I'm curious on that.
Hogan. Yeah, it was a big. Yeah, red and yellow was big, and then a black and white was huge, and then red and black. And
I don't know what you're talking about.
He's asking who my favorite wrestler was growing up. But yeah, Hogan was my favorite. And then I was a big Macho Man fan. Undertaker. Who's your favorite?
I don't even know.
Tim said Savage.
Who?
Mine was Savage. Yeah, Savage is awesome, right?
I could tell you who my dad's favorite was.
Who is your dad's favorite?
That George the Animal guy.
George the Animal Steel.
George the Animal Steel with the green tongue. We did an interview where we interviewed Al Burke. He was Mr. Outrageous in WWF, where he was kind of like a jobber. But he was in a tag team match against Andre the Giant at one point, and he wrestled the Road Warriors, and Hogan actually got him into the business back then. And he's, Al Burke, if you've ever seen the Wedding Singer, he's on the plane at the end of the film where he's like, nobody talks to Billy that way. That's him. Oh, that's him?
Yeah. He's done all kinds of stuff. He's I don't know if you've ever seen the Killjoy movies, but he's in those movies, and he's
was it the Lost in the? What is it? The posters we made.
Oh, he's on a missing person poster in Blood Loss. That's what she's trying to say.
That's what I was
made the film. That's awesome. You can't beat that. So, my final question for you guys: do you have any advice for anybody trying to enter the film industry?
Just keep at it. You're going to deal with a lot of BS, and just keep pushing forward. Just no matter what. If I can do it, you guys can do it, because if anyone out there has been following me for any amount of time, I'm like infamous for going through like all this crap. Like I've been through everything. People have said the nastiest things about me that you could possibly imagine. They've stalked me. They've done all kinds of nasty things. So if I can do it, make it through, and make a movie, and still be proud of myself, then you guys can definitely do it, because I don't think that anyone else is going to go through. Everybody's going to go through stuff, but I don't think anybody's going to go through as much as we have. In all honesty, so if you want to do it, and just don't let anything bug you. They're going to say nasty things about you at some point. You're going to run into people that you don't agree with. They might lie about you. They might whatever. You just got to keep going, just push forward and get through it. And you have bad days, but you'll have a lot of good days too.
Yep, it's a great accomplishment, Tim Jones says.
Thanks, Tim. And Tim's a producer on the film too. So we'll do some more stuff with his company Top Notch Knox in the future.
That is really huh?
Top Notch Hawks. I think I said that funny. Top Notch Hawks. Sorry.
Definitely. Well, that's the end of our show here. I want to thank you guys for coming on here. Thank you for taking your time out of your busy schedule to be able to tell us what's going on. Make sure you look out for this film, Friday the 13th Blood Loss, coming out here later this year. My next guest will be coming on will be Stuart Snodgrass. We'll be talking to him about wrestling on the in the South. I'm Dr. Quack, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you.